ethnic minority, smiling, that's significant, lots of choice. Okay, that just gives you a little clue. So going way back when, I started to keep tally on the results. Activity Sheffield ran the lessons at that point. We were allocated nine for our children. We had to do it with year fives. And then 2008 we hit rock bottom. We had 10% of our children achieve national curriculum. The national curriculum hasn't really changed, even though we've got a new one. We're still trying to get our children to 25 metres at least, if not other aspects as well. So, with all the things that we've changed since 2013, our results have been between 80 and 90% success rate. Our best year was 2017, where we hit 95.2%. Obviously, COVID had an impact, but that was the same for everybody. And last year, we had 81.4% of our children swim at least 25 metres. Our results are on our website, should you be interested. So, what's our starting point? A lot of you will recognise this. Our children don't even know what swimming kit is. Our parents certainly don't. There's a lack of understanding. A lot of our families are Roma. Unfortunately, their experience of water might be somebody in the family, usually a young male, who's drowned in Slovakia in a lake. So they say, our children are not going swimming, end of. So there's that parental fear. Most of our families are Muslim, so we've got cultural barriers as well. We've had years of parents saying, my girl is not going swimming, my girl is not swimming with boys, etc., etc. Attendance, not so good, particularly on swimming days, and obviously not enough time in the water. So this is what it was like a few years ago. So what is the difference that we've made? We do a lot around preparing the Year 4s. The Year 4s swim for the school swimming lessons. We communicate with parents, meetings, letters, class dojos. They must be sick of us really, because we're always sort of sending out information, but I'm sure a lot of you will do that. I think one of our breakthroughs was the early intervention Year 3 swimming lessons. We only give them 4 in the summer term before Year 4, and that is all games based. So all we want to do, we're not bothered about them learning to swim, we just want them to arrive at school with a swimming kit, go to the swimming pool, get themselves changed, get in the water, realise actually we can stand up in the water, oh there's nice adults in the water helping us, or we play loads of games. And that's all it's been, 4 lessons of games, because obviously pester power is very powerful. They'll go home and say, we really like swimming lessons, and then parents find it really difficult to stop their children from swimming. We've had various family swimming projects. I've got quite a bit of funding into school, the OSF funding, the HAF funding, may or may not be continuing. We've had families, we've taken families on the tram to Ponds Forge so they can take part in private swimming lessons. That was a few years ago. The last 2 summers we've had families going up to Concord. We've hired a coach every Friday afternoon during the summer holidays. We've taken them up to Concord. Families have got in. It's not Joe Searle looking after all the children, it's about the families taking responsibility. I just facilitate. I put them on, off they go, and they have a great time. That's been really, really successful. We signpost parents to private swimming lessons for the children. We don't have very many children who take that up, but every year there's a few more that have signed up to private swimming lessons. And what we're finding now is some of the adults are asking where they can learn to swim. So all really positive. Just little steps, but it makes a difference. This is massive, number of lessons that we offer children. We've gone from 9 to 36. So our Year 4s, I've included a little screen print of our PE timetable. They only have one other PE lesson during the year. Okay, so it's one other area of activity, whether games, gymnastics or whatever. The second PE lesson is swimming every week all through the year. I've mentioned the early intervention lessons in Year 3, and we can top up with our Year 5s if they haven't quite met the standard. We can put a few of our Year 5s on the coach to go swimming, because I think the maximum number is 36 that school swimming staff can take on. We also have a swimming festival every year with Searle locality C schools. That's one day at Ponds Forge. Every Year 5 gets an hour in the leisure pool, so they can get the wave machine and they get the lazy river, so they actually see swimming is really, really good fun. Lesson content, this is massive as well. We work really closely with the school swimming staff. I'm sure they're completely sick of me emailing them, but they are really responsive. They do work very closely with us and basically meet the needs of our children. So it is games-based, as I mentioned, with our year 3s. Year 4s have some games, but obviously we then need to get on to the actual nitty-gritty of teaching them to swim. We get some early deep end work, so we have the 3rd lesson on Monday and our year 4s were already in the deep end. A little bit nervous, but they've got noodles on and armbands because they have to realise that they need to be in a prone position to actually move. A lot of focus on stamina. Our children are very, very poor on stamina. And if we're asking children to swim from the deep to the shallow, eventually to do 25 metres, if they're not regularly doing that, even if they're covered in armbands and things, they're never going to have that muscle strength and muscle memory. So we focus on that. So it's 10 minutes, swimming down the pool, climb out, walk round, get in, etc., etc. Support in the water, I'm always in the water, but we usually have other TAs that are prepared to go in. That's really important. Gives the children obviously loads of confidence. Continuous assessment, obviously the swim staff use the Symphony programme, but I also keep my own records as well. So on a swimming day, there's no excuses. The TAs are well on it. If a child hasn't brought their swim kit, we've got spare kit in the PE cupboard, towels and swimming costumes donated by staff. SLT obviously on board because it is expensive, but we've got to meet our statutory requirements, which is to ensure every child can swim at least 25 metres before they leave primary school. SEND EAL, we use the Swim Picks cards. These are fantastic, really clear visuals for children, any child actually, in a very distracting, unfamiliar environment. I was asked by one of the swim staff, which children have English as a second language, and I just said, just assume all of them, because actually that probably is true. And this is the card that I use the most, climb out please, because our children love their lessons so much that we're just saying climb out. We also do a water safety lesson every week. There is a scheme of work on the school swimming website that you can use. I brought a quick handout for you. These are sort of things that the children need to do. All the answers are on the back. If there are any questions, I think you've got about 30 seconds. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.